日本時間5月5日、米国時間5月4日、ドジャース対アストロズ戦を前に、大谷翔平とロサンゼルス、ドジャースの現状が大きく注目された。今季、大谷は完全な二刀流として復帰し、投手としては圧倒的な成績を残している。4月は5試合で防御率0点台、奪三振も量産し、リーグ屈指の投手として君臨。まさに、支配的な存在となっている。一方で打撃では苦しみが続く。ここ数試合は安打が出ず、打率も低迷。専門家は、前肩が早く開くことでスイングのバランスを崩している、と分析し、調整段階にあると指摘する。それでも、この日の試合では四球や打点でチームに貢献。フリーマンやスミスら打線もつながりを見せ、ドジャースは得点力回復の兆しを見せた。投打両面での負担という大きな挑戦に向き合う大谷。限られた時間の中で調整を続ける姿は、まさに異次元の挑戦と言える。番組ではこの後、大谷の投球内容や打撃フォームの詳細分析が続く。ぜひ最後までご覧いただきたい。
Pretty good. All right, well, the successful return from elbow surgery very much complete for Shohei Ohtani. 5 starts in April. He pitched 30 innings, an ERA of 0.6, 34 strikeouts. Those numbers good enough for Shohei to be named National League's Pitcher of the Month. Of all the accolades Shohei's gotten at this point in his career, it's the first time he's actually won a Pitcher of the Month award. Now, it's the first year we are seeing the full two-way Shohei Ohtani experience for an entire season. He's done everything in this game except win a Cy Young Award so far. He's off to a really good start, Jerry, if he wants to check that box as well here in 2026.
I mean, you look at those numbers, and we saw, obviously, every start that he's through this month. He was absolutely dominant. I just love that he's now a complete pitcher. I'm not saying he wasn't a complete pitcher with the Angels. I just think now he has entered his prime. And understanding also as a hitter, I can kind of mess with the hitter's timing because I'm sure as a hitter, he doesn't like to be messed with his timing. So what he does, he has a high leg kick, occasional slide step, he'll quick pitch the hitter, he'll reshape the breaking ball 3 different ways. And oh, by the way, y'all throw 94, 95 with some seek and run. But when he has it too, he'll throw that 100, 101 by you. He has been so fun to watch and without question has been the best pitcher in the National League so far.
You're exactly right, Jerry, about him being the best pitcher. Then when you touched on him being more of a complete pitcher now, sometimes it could be also after 2 surgeries when you're going, okay, what do I have to do as far as, attack hitters? It's not always just max effort every single time, which not to say he did that every time prior to that, but it's also something you start going, okay, as you're even working when you're coming back, what do I have to do to work on to know that I still have it in the tank? We've seen that, but knowing that I can pitch at a certain like 96, 94, as Jerry was touching on it, but going, okay, let me mix up my pitches. Let me work on those as well when I know I need them to even refine them as you're coming back and rehabbing from an injury as well. All of a sudden, you might find that breaking ball, that feel, you have a little more behind it because you're not always worried about, hey, I got to try to get my velocity back. I got to make sure I'm back where I was as far as velocity is concerned. I think when he was coming back, it was more like, what do I do about my pitches and feel to make sure not only do I not get hurt again, but now all of a sudden I'm more confident in throwing all my arsenal rather than just one particular one.
Yeah, and you tried to clean up some things mechanically as well to give him the best chance to be healthy moving forward. So far, so good. But on the flip side of things, for all of his greatness on the mound early this season, still trying to find it at the plate. He hasn't had a hit in a week, and since April 13th, he's hitting .212. He's slugging .333. He's hit only 1 home run over those 19 games, 3 runs batted in, has struck out 18 times in 66 at-bats. Now, he's basically holding down 2 full-time jobs now. There's a lot of preparation that goes into being a pitcher. There's a lot of preparation that goes into just being a hitter. Nomar, do you think the offense is suffering at all because of the workload, or is he simply trying to fight through a slump right now at the plate?
Well, listen, it's so easy to blame pitching or saying that because nobody's ever done it at the level that he's doing it. And he has set such a high bar. And what we've seen him in that Dodger uniform when he wasn't pitching and then winning the MVPs and what he's done as a hitter, we saw 50-50. We've seen some other stuff that's just absolutely amazing. But at the same time, I also think he's just off to a slow start because he usually is a slow starter in April. May starting to heat up right here, starting to get warmer. This is when he knows things start turning around for him. But at the same time, I think what I've seen from him, just from an offensive side, is more of what gets him in trouble that we've seen in the past as far as when he goes through these slumps. He's had them in the past. We've seen them. We all go through them. Holy smoke, this game's hard. But I think when his front shoulder and his front hip fly open together, that's what really gets him in trouble. He can fly open with the lower half, but oftentimes when he's going right, when that opens, the front side, the shoulder, the top half stays closed. And we're not seeing that on a consistent basis. We'll see it every once in a while, but we're not seeing it on a consistent basis. Listen, it can go out of whack naturally. We all have our triggers and our flaws and everything. But right now, I think we've seen more of it in him not being able to get that back or that feeling back to try to minimize maybe the slump.
I agree with Omar. This is just a slump to me. And here's the thing, and fans understand this. This is not batting practice. This is early work. The difference is batting practice, you're in a hitting group, you get 6 pitches, 7 pitches, 8 pitches, and you have a rhythm and tempo because your other teammates have hurt. You see him taking a swing, walking around, there is no rush. He's trying to work through stuff, thinking what he needs to do. Is he going to fire his hips a little bit more? He's going to fire his hands to kind of lead him out. But the most important thing is he's not rushed. This is not an environment when you're doing early work to be rushed. So that's why this was interesting to me. This is early hitting, so he's trying to work through stuff. So I'm hoping the most important thing, and Nomar, you touched on it, when he gets into trouble, which we all go through slumps, that front shoulder starts to fly open. When that front shoulder flies open, just like anybody else, the hands and the barrel drop, you get swing and miss, and you get weak contact. So I'm hoping he's staying square, working on that, and he can find his groove. So again, I think this has nothing to do with pitching because he's done this before. It's all about trying to find his rhythm and tempo and staying square as long as he can to have that explosion in the box.
And a couple things on that is, one, when you're out there right now, too, while you hit on the field, he does a lot of his work in the cage. But when you're working on something as a hitter, you also want to see the way the ball flight is. You can't always see the ball flight when you're in the cage. You really want to go see it and see if you're getting the backspin, if you're getting the carry that you would like while you're making those adjustments. But the other thing to touch on that front shoulder, as Jerry mentioned, you know, when that is flying open, a lot of times too, it's mechanics. It's really easy for us to say, oh, your mechanics keep that front side closed or whatever it is you have to do to keep that closed. There's that. But the other thing, though, too, there is the mental side of when it comes to hitting. When you feel like you are being beat by a pitch, when you feel like you cannot catch up to a fastball, that's where slumps really come from. It's that feeling of being beat. So what your body does when your mind thinks, oh, I'm going to be beat, you want to rush, you want to hurry up. And the first thing you have a tendency to do is pull with that front shoulder to get the barrel through. That front shoulder flies open because your mind's saying, I'm going to be beat on the fastball. The other thing you start doing is you start kind of guessing at the pitch or deciding that you're swinging before the pitcher even releases the ball. So this is why you often see sometimes you're like, how is he swinging at that pitch? How is he swinging at that breaking ball? Well, when you feel like you're going to be beat, you have a tendency to already start and going, and you're already beat because now it's off speed. As compared to when you're locked in, you hear those terms. Man, I'm just waiting for the ball. I'm just sitting back. I'm letting it come to me. Yeah, because you know you can wait till he releases the ball to decide. And then next thing you know, you're kind of spitting on those nasty breaking balls out of the zone rather than swinging and it looks like you're flaring at it. So all that works together.
And I want fans to know, especially kids, this is so hard to do. And look at Shohei Ohtani. Remember, that's early hitting. So when you're on the road, you get early hitting. What was our 7 o'clock start time there? So you get early hitting around 2 o'clock. Yeah. You ask the Astros, hey, can we go get on the field early? And every team allows the other team to do it because it's universal. So it's around 2 o'clock there when he was hitting early UP. That's how hard it is to not just get to the big leagues. That's the hard work that goes in it. But even the best in the world needs to work on something.
But that's also what I was talking about. There's so much preparation just to be a hitter. Yeah. And there's also being a full-time pitcher as well and dominating on the mound. But it's only 34 games. For what it's worth, Shohei right now putting up the worst offensive numbers of his 9-year career, not counting the shortened COVID season. And the Dodgers, just like these guys, are banking on it just being a matter of time for Shohei. Kirsten Watson is with the Dodgers in Houston, and she joins us live with more on The Big Show. Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, John. I think when you look at today and just the schedule for Shohei Ohtani, Jerry actually hit it right there on the nail. Shohei was on the field this afternoon at 2 p.m. He did about 3 to 4 rounds of batting practice, then immediately went under, put on his jersey, went out here to start throwing on the field, went into the bullpen. So that just shows there's obviously so much work that's going into not only getting back on track offensively, but preparing himself for his pitching duties. Today, this afternoon, when Dave Roberts was talking to the media, he was asked just what was his own personal expectation expectations for Shohei Ohtani entering this season, where he was going to be back to his true two-way self, starting the beginning of the season, fully built up as a pitcher. And if he had maybe thought that it could have some impact on the offensive numbers this year.
To be quite honest, no. I really didn't entertain that. I guess what he's done, in the past couple of years, you sort of get used to. Not appreciating what he's taking on this year in 26. But yeah, I mean, he's going to figure it out. And is he going to go 50-50? No. But he's still going to be a very, very productive offensive player. We do know that.
On the flip side, did you expect him to be pitching this well from the get-go?
I didn't. On the flip side, that's right. I didn't. The jumping off point at 5 or 6 innings, whatever it is, we expected that. We expected him to and hope that he can continue to make starts. But as far as performance, I really didn't try to forecast. But he's just really been phenomenal.
Recently, Shohei Ohtani has spoken to the media just in regard to how challenging it can be when he's trying to get back on track offensively while also managing his workload on the mound. And he did say that it comes with some challenges because ultimately there's just not enough hours in the day. Again, like I said earlier, today really was a perfect example of that. With the first 2 rounds in batting practice, you could see he was popping up the ball a little bit more, grounding out to second, and seemed a little bit frustrated at the plate. But after that, in that 3rd round, that's when the ball started to fly. He hit one essentially to the train tracks over here, basically hit the scoreboard. So you could see that something was clicking for him. So the hope is that he can just carry that over into the game tonight. The team does feel very optimistic that when it comes to facing this Astros pitching staff, they do feel like they are taxed right now, and this is the perfect ballpark for this team to get going, and especially to show the long ball, guys.
And a very short-handed Astros pitching staff. We'll get into that a little bit later in the show as well. Kirsten, thank you very much. Right now, let's get our first look at Dave Roberts' lineup card for the first of 3 against the Astros. It is Shohei Ohtani leading it off, followed by Freddie Freeman and Will Smith. Teoscar Hernandez will bat cleanup, and then former Astro Kyle Tucker back in Houston batting 5th. Max Muncy's at 3rd base, Andy Pages in center, Hae-Sung Kim starting again at short with Alex Freeland Nomar batting 9th and playing 2nd base behind Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Well, listen, you saw a solid lineup. Here it is. This is what we've seen regularly that Dave Roberts has put out there. We just need to get these guys going collectively. These guys are just too good.
I'm looking at the lineup. Obviously, this is a great lineup. Looking at Andy Pages. He's hitting 7th. I remember this is the day going into a great ballpark hit. If I was hitting 7, I would tell Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, D. Gordon, I expect hitting the 1st inning, boys. So I'm expecting Andy Pages to get in at bat in that 1st inning.
Well, that'd be nice. Get that 7th batter up in the 1st inning. Freddie Freeman, 5 for 13 during the weekend series in St. Louis, but we all know Freddie, and he's not satisfied at all. So he's in the cage working on some things as well. We'll hear and talk Freddie's mindset at the plate.
Hi, John, from St. Louis to Houston in Daikin Park. It's the Dodgers and the Houston Astros in the first of 3 tonight. And we welcome you inside. Hope you're having a great week so far. Joe Davis and O. Hershiser. Dodgers end their 4-game losing streak yesterday in St. Louis. Gained some momentum coming here into Houston, where the Astros have really struggled so far this year.
They really have, and we hope that continues. And this uniform always inspires Dodger fans, and I think it'll inspire the Dodger players.
Biggest strength for the Dodgers this year has been the starting pitching, and they've got the best of the bunch lined up here for the Astros.
They really do. It looks like a playoff rotation coming into it. Yamamoto has set the bar for himself very high, but he hasn't really gone over it lately. I expect that tonight. Ohtani just became the decorated National League Pitcher of the Month. That is a fantastic guy in Game 2. And then Game 3, hopefully looking for a sweep. Tyler Glass now with that outstanding curveball.
But tonight, as you touched on, it'll be Yamamoto. Not quite as sharp the last couple.
Yeah, he's looking for the off-speed stuff to be a little bit sharper, and especially with 2 strikes to be able to put people away.
Offense got just enough yesterday. Maybe not a breakout, but headed in the right direction as we go down to Kirsten Watson.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, it's no secret that the offense has been struggling a bit as of late. Even if you look at their last 5 games, they're only averaging just a tick over 2 runs per game. They haven't hit a home run in 6 straight, but they're hoping that coming here to Daikin Park, they can get things going. The guys have said it's a very hitter-friendly ballpark, and they're going up against a pitching staff that has the worst ERA in Major League Baseball. The guys have said if they can take advantage of that, if they can get to the pitching staff early, early. The Astros are starting with an opener this evening, but that if they can continue to build up that pitch count and attack him early, they do feel like they can have a lot of success and even bring back in that long ball, guys.
All right, Kirsten trying to string them together after snapping the skid yesterday. The first of three in Houston coming up on Sportsnet LA. 3-0 to Ohtani and a 4-pitch walk for Shohei. Ohtani aboard, Freeman coming up. Struck out on 3 pitches his first time, and you figure he's happy to have the opener, Okert, out of there. 4 steals for Shohei in his many tries this year. It's a high drive to deep left center field. Matthews going back at the wall. Can't get it. Had it in his glove, but it popped out, and the Dodgers have taken the lead right back. Ohtani's in to score on a smash off of the bat of Will Smith.
He said the mechanics and the swing feel better. I just need to find some hits. I would think that the official scorer is going to give him a double on this. There's a home run in a few ballparks. But here, a little clank off the glove. Double. Off the heel of the glove. Had plenty of height on the jump.
Slaps one left side. Paredes to go to second. One. Throw to first is late. Ohtani aboard on a fielder's choice, and Pages comes in to make it 5-2.
Shohei will get an RBI, but he will tell you he wished he hit it a little differently. Off the end of the bat, he is letting the ball get a little deeper. He is hitting it to the opposite field. And he does get an RBI. The production has been there so far.
There's the line drive base hit for Freddie Freeman to join the party. Came in easily. The ball kicks away. And Ohtani's going to score all the way from first. 7 runs for the Dodgers. And we're only in the 3rd.
Well, they're kind of in a massive funk, all of them together, and maybe they're starting to have a massive hot streak as far as the hitters.
今回も最後までご視聴いただき本当にありがとうございました。動画の内容を楽しんでいただけたでしょうか。もしよろしければチャンネル登録と高評価をお願いいたします。皆さんの応援が今後の動画制作の大きな励みになります。それではまた次回の動画でお会いしましょう。